Happy to have you, Craig Beirdneau.
That's right.
Beirdneau.
Beirdneau.
Come visit us at Eddy HR. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I love sports. I love cooking, barbecue, smoking. I have a wife and 2 daughters that make up everything, who I am. And then professionally, so, I was in college and I was like, okay, what am I know I'm going to go into business, but should I just go into business or should I do something else with my undergrad? So I did American Studies at BYU and it was awesome. But then I was like, okay, what area of business should I be thinking about? And I just thought my dad, who's like a CIO and a CTO of a collection agency, just the way that he gets treated at work, I was like, this is like Bush League. This is the old school way of thinking about, our employees come in, they're like cogs, we treat them however the freak we want, and if they don't like it, that's their fault, and it was bizarre to me. And so I was like, if this is how people treat people at work, I don't want to work. I'm like, this is crap. So I got pushed to the opposite of looking at companies, looking at Google, and when Laszlo Bock was coming out with Work Matters or Work Rules, and just all the things that they were doing, all the things that these companies were trying to aspire to be like, and I got hooked on it, and I was like, I want to create that for an organization. I think it adds so much value. And then I was like, what level do I want to be doing this? And got sucked into a PhD, and then sucked out of a PhD after a year. I was like, this is too much. I want to be doing it, So then just went and started doing it. And that's what I'm trying to do now.
Change people's lives, change cultures, right?
Yeah.
That's super cool. What are you most grateful for? You kind of mentioned it with your wife and kids.
Yeah, obviously family. But I feel like that can be a cop-out answer. But I just think, my relationship with a higher power, I think it provides stability. It provides a foundation for who you are. I mean, without it, I would fall back on, who knows, there's so many things you could fall back on that may not keep you centered, but for me, it just keeps me centered and focused and provides so much in my life that, it is first and foremost. And then obviously wrapped up in that is family and health. I think I've been thinking a lot about that lately. So there's a lot of really good answers to that.
That's cool. Those are great answers. What's a change in HR coming that you feel like has been on the rise?
I think people look at HR and they're starting to change or adopt a different feel of it. You hear people ops or people operations or human resources, what that really means. I think we're going to see less and less human resources, because really the basic of it is, I feel like, should be automated and can be automated, keeping your company protected, right? It's easy to set up safeguards, or it should be easy to set up safeguards. I think we make it a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So I think shifting the focus on making work something that is not oh, I have to go into work today. It's just a part of who you are, right? Changing the focus from policies and procedures, which, there's still important aspects to that, but changing it to living and creating an atmosphere and a place where people can grow and develop and live and be so ingrained with the purpose that, like I said, it's just, no, I'm doing some amazing things today. It's not work. Changing the focus of work, I think, is going to be a big thing.
Yeah, what is it about technology that allows the automation side that allows for cultures to now, come into the kind of modern era and allow for employees to have better lifestyles?
Technology it allows tasks that took forever in Excel if you weren't an advanced user, having to run payroll and having to go through stacks and stacks of resumes, now can be done so quickly and efficiently. It's just making everything so much easier. It allows you to do more. It allows instead of having a team of 5 necessarily in the beginning to having a team of 1 or 2 to really, it pushes the menial tasks aside to allow you to focus on the most important things, which are the people. So it just is a funny way of doing that. It opens up everything. It opens up. We can do so much. I have like a supercomputer in my phone, in my pocket. You know what I mean? Like the first computer could barely do calculations, right? And now you have a scientific calculator on your phone, or you're one step away from doing the craziest things. And it's surprising how slow we are to adopt in so many areas. But I think in like human resources and people specifically, we're slow to adopt it, and it's crazy. It still is mind-boggling.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons we started Eddy HR is because it was so frustrating to see HR admins and departments get the cool tools last.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's always sales and marketing, or anything that provides revenue, but the culture, people that you talked about, they really need that technology and that automation. And so what makes a great employee? Talking about people, what makes a really good human to work with?
I don't know. I think to different companies that looks different.
Sure.
Some companies want people to be able to move fast and move agile and be very quick, and then there are other companies that need somebody to be more organized, right? So I think the best employee, that's a hard question, but for me, when I'm looking at people, no matter what position, we screen for culture. We make sure that they're going to be able to come in and grow and thrive, but also that they're going to come in and add something that we maybe don't have. And so we look for skills that can add to our repertoire. We also specifically look at, do they live our values? Are they living their values our values right now? And, hopefully most companies' values are very similar in, we want you to have integrity. We want you to be a team player. We want you to do all these things. But I think you have to push all that crap aside and really just focus how are you living it in your life? We don't want it to be something that you just talk about. We want you to be able to show that you're actually living and doing it. And I think everything else adds on to that. That's the basic of what we look for and what makes a really good employee. Because if they have those, everything else I feel can be added. And they can be moved around. If it's the right person, they can be moved around to any role. Yeah,
you talked a lot about values and skills, and we have a saying here at Eddy HR that we say, hire diverse talents but not diverse values. Kind of goes with that.
That's cool. I like that.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah.
When building a company from start, what are a few essential things that you have to do HR-wise in order to get it done right from the very beginning?
I think that, again, I'm big about foundations, right? I'm big about basics. So starting a company for me, the first thing, even if I was in the CEO role, if I was in the people role, HR role, doesn't matter. It would be about our purpose and the basic of who we are and what we are trying to do. As you move into what are the things an HR person would be looking at and doing. Obviously, for me, I'm really big on technology. Getting the right system for the right company for the next 2 to 4 years. Technology changes so fast. If your company's not keeping up with it, I'm maybe in that millennial mindset of ditch them and go with the company that's working. And so finding the right technology partner, I think, is really big. That's going to allow you to scale and grow. If it's going to be slow growth, great. There's a lot of great technology companies that gear towards that. If you're going to be growing super fast, you just need to make sure you have a system that's going to work with you so that you can be the one-man band for as long as possible, or one-woman band for as long as possible.
Sure.
Again, I'm big on foundations and basics, and so that purpose, I think, would be the next thing I would do if I wasn't the CEO, if I was the people ops and HR person. I would say this is extremely important to connect everybody's work back to the purpose and keep them engaged and focused on the most important things always, and how do we make it visible, and how are we going to actually do it and not just talk about it, but those would be like the main things I'd focus on.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming in. We love you. We look up to you. It's been fabulous to watch you and all that you achieved in your career, and thanks for supporting Eddy HR.
Love it. Love what you guys are doing.
All right, brother. Thanks, man.
Peace.